Boys and girls, this is Kim on the Reading Angels channel, and if you remember, last week we read part 1 of the story of Moses, the baby in the basket, and this week we're moving on to read part 2, and it is Moses and Pharaoh. So, if you would like to receive the coloring pages that go along with these Bible stories that I'm reading every week, then click the link above and I will send you the coloring pages. It will be for the following Bible story. So if you don't want to miss the story with the coloring pages, which makes it extra fun and reinforces the lesson, then be sure to click the link above and sign up to get the coloring pages each week. Okay, so let's start. Moses and Pharaoh. One day Moses saw an Egyptian beating an Israelite woman. Moses was so angry that he killed the Egyptian. Then he fled Egypt and lived as a shepherd in the desert. Back in Egypt, Pharaoh made life even harder for the Israelites. How they longed to escape. So this is Moses watching as the Israelites experienced hardships. As Moses was leading his flock of sheep, he saw a bush on fire. Although the bush was burning, it didn't burn away. Then a voice called, "Moses, Moses, I am the God of Abraham." Moses trembled. "The Egyptians are oppressing my people, the Israelites," said God. "I want you, Moses, to go to Pharaoh and tell him, 'Let my people go.'" So here is Moses here, and he's seeing the burning bush in this picture. "I couldn't do that," said Moses. "I will help you, but I stammer and stutter." "Please send someone else," pleaded Moses. "Take your brother Aaron with you. He's a great speaker," said God. So Moses left his sheep and returned to Egypt. Moses here trying to get out of what God has called him to do. Moses and Aaron stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. "O Pharaoh," said Aaron, "God says, 'Let my people go so that they can worship me in the desert.'" "I don't know this God of yours," shouted Pharaoh, "and I'm certainly not letting the Israelites go free." Then he ordered, "Make these Israelites work even harder." So here is Pharaoh and Aaron and Moses are there giving him God's message to let God's people go. "Pharaoh is making my people work harder still," Moses complained to God. "Then go back and warn him," God told Moses. "If he doesn't let my people go, the Egyptians will suffer." So Moses and Aaron returned to Pharaoh. Aaron threw down his stick and it turned into a snake. Pharaoh's magicians threw down their sticks too, and they also turned into snakes. But Aaron's snake gobbled up the rest of the snakes. Still, Pharaoh didn't do what God said. So there's Moses and Aaron in the presence of Pharaoh, and there is a snake. So God sent very hard times on Egypt. Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh again. God says, "Let my people go," said Aaron. "If you don't, he'll turn the river to blood." "I will not let your people go," Pharaoh replied. So God turned the water of the river Nile to blood. No one could drink it. Ask your God to turn the blood back to water, said Pharaoh. Then I will let your people go. God did so, but still Pharaoh didn't let the Israelites go. So here is the river full of blood. After this, God sent hordes of frogs all over the land. Still Pharaoh did not let the people go. God sent swarms of flies across the land. Still Pharaoh did not let the Israelites go. God made all the animals in Egypt fall sick. Still Pharaoh did not let God's people go. So here's a picture of just swarms of frogs everywhere. One of the plagues. But still Pharaoh did not let God's people go. Painful sores appeared on the Egyptian skin. Huge hailstones fell on their fields. Grasshoppers called locusts ate every leaf and every stalk of grain. Darkness fell across the entire land of Egypt. Still Pharaoh did not obey God. So here's a picture of the grasshoppers called locusts that were sent, and it ate up their plants and vegetables. And I believe these here are a picture of the hailstones that fell and damaged the land. Finally, God told Moses, the firstborn of every living in Egypt will die. To escape this, the Israelites must mark their doorways with lamb's blood. So the Israelites splashed their doorways with lamb's blood. And these are the doorways, and this little splash here represents the lamb's blood. Oops. It may be difficult to see, but there it is on each door. There we go. At last, Pharaoh told Moses, "Get your people out of Egypt." So the Israelites left. Moses led his people out of Egypt on the long journey to the land that God had promised them. In later years, the Israelites remembered that God saved them in a festival they call Passover. And this is from Exodus chapter 3 through 12. All right, so that is the story, part 2 of the story of Moses. So next week we'll be reading out of Egypt. So in essence, it's going to be the next of what happens next after that. So don't miss the story, the next part of the story, out of Egypt. So God bless you. Don't forget to get your coloring pages and have a blessed day in Jesus' name.